Good evening and welcome to the J98 Dream Team ceremony. That's what I'm talking about. I am Glenn Johnson. I'm the Master of Ceremonies at this wonderful event today. I'm also a sports director at KTJJ and KREI Radio in Farmington. We're joined by our sports director at KJEF. He deals with Jefferson County, Tommy Self. He'll be handing out the awards today. Let's give Tommy Self a big round of applause. Jefferson County coaches and players are familiar with him, and they work more closely with him, and he's a big part of the Dream Team process as well. Michelle Minley is the one taking pictures today, so athletes, when you get up here, smile real big for her. She'll be taking the pictures. These will be posted online at mymoinfo.com, and when you go there, click on Dream Team, click on the kid's picture, and you can listen to the interview that way. So Michelle Minley is here. Also, Jessica Hampton and Kim Long were the lovely faces you saw when you walked in the door handing out programs and order forms. Let's give our sales staff a big round of applause. I lumped all you guys into one. I'm sorry. We're trying to save time here. As far as Dream Team goes, this is a big accomplishment to make the Dream Team. On the back of your program, it explains the process to you, but I'll explain it a little bit. It's a bigger award than all conference and all district, even all region. It's pretty close to all state, and I'll explain why. For those awards, you're awarded in a more specific group. If you're all conference, you're one of the best players in your conference. If you're all district, you're one of the best players in your district. And even all state, you're one of the best players in the state, but you're one of the best players in your state in your class. Well, we don't use class systems. We have athletes represented today from Fox High School, Class 5. We have athletes represented from all the way down to Class 1. We have small schools. These kids are in there with the big boys. We all put them together. We're not looking for class. We're looking for the best of the best, and the coaches get together and decide this. And that's another reason why it's such a big honor, is because the coaches that the players are playing against are the ones who vote on the Dream Team. How it works is a little bit before the season comes to an end, I'll send out nomination forms to all the coaches. We'll send out nomination forms to all the coaches. Give them a couple weeks to get that information back to us. We're looking for stats, any kind of season highlights from their year. We're looking for extracurricular activities. We're looking for academic honors, because the Dream Team is not just about being a good athlete. It's about being a good student athlete. And I think that's well represented today in the kids that have made it on. But we want you to put all that information on to your nomination. Send it back to me, and we will put it on a ballot and send that information back out for the coaches to vote on. Another reason why that academic stuff is very important, at the Spring Dream Team, which is the Dream Team we're at today, we look back at the other two Dream Team ceremonies that we did this year, and we pick one Dream Team athlete, one boy and one girl, who has best represented being a Dream Team athlete, more of a scholar athlete, and we'll honor two of those a year, one boy and one girl each year. So coaches, that information is important for that very reason, for the fact that you might not think it would help coaches vote, and a lot of coaches do vote on stuff like that, but it's really for my purposes as well, and our purposes at the radio station, to pick who our scholar athletes are. And we have two here today that we'll save for the end that are very deserving of the award. So that's how it works. Another reason why it's a big deal is our regional radio listening area covers quite a bit. We reach south to down around Van Buren. We go north to about Northwest High School, Fox and Seckman as well. We go east to Perryville and west to Cuba. That's a pretty good radius that J98 covers, and we're looking for the best of the best in this area. With that, it's time to get started. Golf Dream Team is up first, and our first presenter will be Arcadia Valley coach Mike Yates. It's his 15th year of coaching. He's been the 3-time coach of the year, and he's qualified 2 golfers for state this year and led the team to a district championship. Give it up for Coach Yates, Arcadia Valley.
Good evening. First of all, I'd like to thank J98, KJEF, KREI for all the great things they do for all the kids, and congratulations to all you athletes up here. You've earned it. Tonight I'm here to talk about Kyle Sutton. He's the son of Jill and Steve Sutton of Ironton. He was a senior at Arcadia Valley High School this year. He medaled in 7 of our matches this year for us. He's ranked 15th in his class. He's a member of the National Honor Society, member of Skills USA. Kyle's made all conference 4 years in a row, all district 3 years, and been a state qualifier for 3 out of his 4 years. Kyle's been a great person to be around, been real fun to coach. And I know he's planning on going to Mac this fall to further his education. And I'd like to introduce you to Kyle Sutton.
Next up in the sport of golf, 14th year head coach. He's introducing this year's only freshman on the Golf Dream Team. His team finished 5th in Class 3 District 1. He's also the athletic director at Central High School, Chad Bradley.
I'd like to reiterate what Coach Yates had to say. Appreciate the invitation from J98 and for them doing this banquet. I'd like to also congratulate all the athletes this year and thank the coaches who participated in the voting and things. I know as a coach and athletic director how difficult it is to get a freshman on this squad. Brandon is a very deserving young man and deserves all the accolades he can get, but I also do realize how difficult it is as a freshman to be selected for this. So just kind of goes to show what kind of young man we're dealing with. Brandon is a first-class citizen at school. He's in the top 10% as a freshman. As far as his golf accolades go, he finished in the top 6 in 6 of our 9 tournaments this year, including the Class 3 state tournament. He tied for 3rd at the North County tournament, 4th at the St. Genevieve tournament, tied for 5th at the Festus tournament. He ended the year with the 2nd lowest stroke average at Central High School as a freshman. He also tied the record for most sub-40 rounds as a freshman, and he is the highest finisher at the state golf tournament as a freshman at Central High School. All district, and played very well at the sectional tournament. He's also the first MAAA conference tournament champion we've had at Central High School, so that's a great honor as well. Like I said, Brandon's a first-class citizen. Also participates in many other activities at school. He's also a very good basketball player, but on top of all those accolades, he's a better young man than he is a golfer, and I'm very proud of Brandon as a freshman making this team.
Our next presenter, unfortunately, couldn't be here today, neither could the golfer. Brett Schnurbush from Perryville is who we'll honor here. Can we give Brett a round of applause? Now, the reason Brett couldn't make it, I guess it's a pretty good reason. He's having his graduation party today, already had it booked and everything, so he couldn't make it out. But Justin Dreyer is his head coach, and he sent me an email with some quotes to read on his behalf about Brett Schnurbush, and I'll do that right now. Brett is the son of Jeff and Melinda Schnurbush. It's been a pleasure to coach Brett over the past 4 years. He's had a lot of accomplishments over the years. He's been an all-conference golfer for 4 years, all-district for 2, and a member of the Dream Team for the last 2 years. This is his 2nd appearance. Brett has been Perryville's #1 golfer ever since he was a freshman. His 9-hole average this season was a 40, which is +4. He was the medalist in every match that we had, except for one, where fellow Dream Team member Levi Gatto beat him by 1 stroke with a 39. The great thing about Brett is that he is a better person than a golfer. It's been an honor to coach such a fine young man the last 4 years. Brett Schnurbush will continue his education at Mineral Area College next year, and I wish him the best in his future endeavors. Brett Schnurbush, Perryville Golf. Our next presenter, it's his 14th year as head coach. He's a 2-time Coach of the Year, Potosi Athletic Director, Mike Mapes.
Again, I'll turn on the broken record and thank the radio stations for all they do. I'm in the kid business, and they do a lot to recognize our kids, and I really appreciate what they do. Thanks a lot, fellas. It's my honor to introduce Brendan McCoy. Brendan is the son of Beth and Kevin McCoy, good friends of mine, grew up with them, went to high school with them, and it's a double honor that I get to represent Brendan up here. I also feel fortunate that Brendan's a golfer. His brother is a head baseball coach, and he was a baseball player until 2 years ago and decided he wanted to hang out with Big Daddy on the golf course. So he saw the light and turned to golf, and pretty good decision for him, pretty good decision. Brendan's been all conference for 2 years, the 2 years they played golf, been all district 2 years, qualified sectional for 2 years, state qualifier this year. Pretty impressive list of things for this year's golf. He won the North County Tournament. He won the St. John Tournament. Finished top 5 in the MAAA Conference. Tied for second in the Festus Tournament. Top 10 in the District Tournament. Tied for section in the Sectional Tournament. And I need to apologize. I had a total knee replacement the day of the Sectional Tournament, so I didn't get to go with him that day or to the state tournament, but hopefully one day he'll forgive me that I wasn't up there with him. But Brendo is also a good student. If you talk to him, you wouldn't think it. I mean, he tries to act like he's a goober, but he's really, really smart. Really smart. He has a full ride academic scholarship to UMSL. Got a big honking scholarship, the biggest one that Potosi High School gives, about $10,000 worth. So, congratulations, brother.
Now, isn't Mike getting along real well after that knee replacement? You can barely tell. Looking good. Our next presenter also couldn't be here. It's a shame, too, because he was the reigning coach of the year in the sport of golf. He could not be here because his golfer as well, Levi Gatto, another Perryville kid, was having a graduation party. I guess everybody in Perryville is just graduating and having parties today. Levi is from St. Vincent High School. Coach Pro gave me something to read about him as well. But first, how about a big round of applause for Levi Gatto? And again, this is directly from Coach Pro. As a freshman, Levi went to state competition as the 5th man on the SV golf team. And although he did not shoot good enough to win a medal, I think it sparked a desire to get better and get another chance. That summer, he started taking lessons and playing every chance he got. When sophomore year came around, he returned and won an all-state medal, tying for 15th place. Then junior year, his best year, he finished 3rd, only 3 strokes away from the winner at the state meet. This year at our district competition, Levi got to play against last year's state winner from Beret Academy and was excited to beat him by 3 strokes, shooting his best score of the year, an even par 72. Now, although Levi's dream to win the state competition this year didn't pan out, he did finish 8th and won all state honors for the 3rd year in a row. Next year, he will be attending a college at Rolla, and he'll be majoring in engineering, that is Missouri S&T. And it was a pleasure watching him mature each year, both in skill and in knowledge. Tom Pro from the golf team at St. Vincent and presenting Levi Gatto from the Indians. We'll go ahead now and give out our Golfer of the Year award. And we ask if you are a Player of the Year in your sport, you come up and accept the award from Tommy Self right around here in front of the podium. Michelle will get a picture of you for our website when the plaque is handed over. So for our Golfer of the Year, All-State Golf the last 3 years, 3rd place individual finish at state last year, 8th place this year. Unfortunately, though, not here today, Levi Gatto from St. Vincent. Our Coach of the Year is here today, and this is a little bit of a unique story. This happens from time to time. He did not have any athletes named to the Dream Team. His team finished 2nd place in Class 3 District 1 and qualified a freshman golfer for state this year. From Farmington High School, Brad Downs.
I'd like to thank J98 for recognizing all these athletes. I'm humbled and honored by this. I was very surprised. I'd like to thank all the coaches. They've helped me out over the last 3 years immensely and kind of brought me along, and I appreciate all of them for doing that. Thank my wife, who runs me out of the house to go coach every day anyway. Also, this wouldn't be possible without my kids. The Farmington Golf Team's a stellar group of guys. They work hard, and they're all willing to put in the extra time that makes this possible. So thank you.
Now let's hear it one more big round of applause for the Golf Dream Team 2014. We now move to girls soccer and a coach that's been here several times before. He was the 2010 Boys Soccer Coach of the Year from Farmington, Rusty Santagraw.
Okay, it's my honor to be here this afternoon on behalf of Emily Mosier. Emily is the daughter of Phil and Laura Mosier, and I also kind of feel like she's my other daughter also. Emily and I have been together for 10 years. 10 years ago, I convinced her parents into letting me take her to St. Louis with my daughter. And, you know, after 10 years and a lot of trips to practices and trips all over the country together, we're here together today. I'm proud of the player and leader that Emily has become. She's considered one of the best defenders in the state. As a defender, she is our second all-time leading goal scorer with 69, and in assists with 52, second all-time. She's a four-time all-conference player, four-time all-district, two-time all-region, and an all-state. You know, Emily, she plays on one of the top teams in St. Louis, one of the top teams in the country, and she's been a captain of that team as well. She's been a captain for our high school team for 4 years. She's phenomenal out of the air. I've never had a girl soccer player, and probably maybe one or two boy soccer players, her brother being one, that good out of the air. Probably half of her goals, those 69 goals, have come off of her head. She's phenomenal out of the air. She's going to continue her soccer career at UMSL next year. She got a good scholarship to go there and play, and I'm proud that you know, she's the last Farmington soccer player that I get to introduce to the Dream Team. Emily Mosier.
Also unable to attend today was Perryville Lady Pirates coach Jerry Fulton, but we will say a few words about Allison Moldenhauer in his place. A big round of applause for Perryville soccer player Allison Moldenhauer. Allison has played basketball for 4 years. She's a 3-year all-conference member in soccer in the Southeast Missouri team. She's been a BA All-Star team member as well. She holds the school record for steals. 4 years of soccer, 3 years all-conference there, all-district 3 years, all-region and all-state last year, and a 2-time all-Southeast Missourian team member. She's also in Stuco, FBLA. She had 9 goals and 11 assists at the time that the nomination forms were due this year. She also has 66 goals and 40 assists for her high school career, again at the time of voting. Allie was the fastest girl with the ball that Coach Fulton had ever seen. That he'd ever coached, and she's just a joy to coach, and as you can tell from her stats, she's a team captain and a team leader this year. Also very good in the classroom. From Perryville High School, Allison Moldenhauer. Here speaking on behalf of Dan Bokern from St. Pius High School is St. Pius Athletic Director Kevin Halley.
I'm glad to be here this evening on the behalf of Brooke, but also to congratulate these student athletes for all the hard work that they've put in. Brooke is an interesting situation in the sense that she's had an impact on varsity after playing 1 year of JV soccer, mainly or solely due to a transfer in at the beginning of her sophomore year. She came in this year after we lost 10 seniors and probably our best soccer player maybe in the history of the school to an injury. And she led the team in scoring. She currently has 28 goals and 8 assists on the season, and we still have 2 games remaining in Blue Springs next weekend. She fought through an injury in the middle of April, and you know, I'm glad that I'm here to represent her. She was actually first team all conference. She's first team all-region and was named the Class 1 Southeast Missouri Region Offensive Player of the Year this year without really having any notoriety behind her. Normally sometimes those awards go to kids that have built up some reputation from the year before. So that's an exciting thing for Brooke and for St. Pius and for the soccer program. So Brooke is a big reason we still do have 2 games left next weekend. And hopefully we can add a little bit to our win total, and she can add a little bit to what she's done so far this year. Brooke Merciel.
Our Our next coach has been with this program for 2 years. In that time, he's racked up a total of 19 wins. From St. Vincent High School in Perryville, Keith Valansky.
It's all fun and games till you leave your note cards on the kitchen table before you leave, and you're terrified of public speaking. Fortunately, she makes it easy. I'm here to introduce Katie Mattingly. Went to state level twice, freshman and sophomore, all conference, district honors, regional honors. That's just in soccer. You know, she's an all-around athlete on and off the field. I'm sure we hear this before, but as a humble athlete, a selfless individual, Katie has it all. She's a true champion, and she's a stud, and that's all I got. Thank you very much. I would have had more if I would have my notes.
We are moving right along here. Okay, next up, our next presenter is a district champion coach this year, a 19-win season with that district title from Windsor, Mike Hutchison.
It's been my honor and pleasure to coach Kayla for the last 4 years on varsity. She's a great student and athlete. She finished her high school career with a 4.2 GPA, and she's getting a nice academic scholarship from Webster University, where she'll play soccer and be a biology major. For us, she's been a 3-year captain. She's been somebody who's transformed herself from a defender at the club level to a high-scoring forward at the high school level. She's had 3 20-goal seasons, including this year, where she's had 25 goals, 18 assists, and is currently, I believe, 6th in the St. Louis area in scoring. She's also our career leader in goals with 74 and assists with 33. She's been a 4-year all-conference player, 3-year all-region, and was all-state last year, and this is her 2nd year on the Dream Team. It's been a great honor and pleasure to coach somebody who is as driven as she is to succeed, but also as team-oriented as she is, in that she'll play anywhere I need her on the field. And a lot of times this year we moved around a lot to help accommodate other players on our team. So she's been a great asset to our program and a big reason why we've won our 19 games this year and has had our success in the last 4 years, and she's going to be greatly missed. Thank you, Kayla.
For Girls Soccer Player of the Year, she is here today, so whoever it is, please come up front and get your picture taken with Tommy and the plaque, and Michelle will snap your picture. Our Soccer Player of the Year is a junior this year. She's been an all-conference selection, all-district, all-region. She was the Offensive Player of the Year in the Class 1 Southeast region. She also plays basketball. She's the only girl here, girls soccer player here, that still has games to play from St. Pius, Brooke Merciel. As far as the Coach of the Year for girls soccer, got his team back to the state playoffs for the first time since 2011 this year from Windsor, Mike Hutchison.
Really, to me, it's all about the players. I've had a great group of players that have been seniors with Kayla that have played on the varsity for 4 years, and a number of other players that have been on the varsity for 3 years. And we've just kind of grown as a team, and really it's about the hard work and the commitment that they've put into our program, and I couldn't be more proud of what they've accomplished. Thank you.
Let's hear it again loudly for the Girls Soccer Dream Team 2014. That gets us started with girls track. Now in your program, you'll see that Scott Ragland is the head coach of the Central track team, but here to speak about Georgia Richardson is pole vaulting coach from Central, Bill Martin. Let's give him a big round of applause.
I'd also like to thank J98. And first I want to congratulate all these athletes, and especially the track and field athletes. This year, this past couple of days was the state track and field meet in Jefferson City. And I've been going to that for probably the last 30 years. And this was by far the finest state track and field meet I've ever seen. And this area was so well represented by these athletes, and it was just a real pleasure to watch the competitions up there. It is now my pleasure to introduce Georgia Richardson of Central High School. Georgia is the 18-year-old daughter of Ernie and Margie Richardson of Park Hills. She recently graduated with the Central High School class of 2014. She graduated as an honor student. At graduation, Georgia received many scholarships, some academic, some athletic. But what stood out for me more was the award she received for her character and her leadership. She had a great softball career at Central. She holds many of the school records, helped lead the Rebels to 2 district championships, and was also a dream team member in softball. She hit a walk-off home run in the 2012 district finals that will long be remembered at Central. Georgia has also had great accomplishments in the field of the sport of track and field. She holds 3 Central High School records, the pole vault with a vault of 11 feet 6 inches, the 100-meter high hurdles, and the 4 by 100-meter relay. She is a 4-year state qualifier. She's received all-state status 3 times in the pole vault. She's a 4-year member of the all-district and all-region teams. She's been an all-conference 4 years. And she is the first Central track and field athlete to be awarded all-state for 3 years. This year, Georgia tied for 2nd place at the Kansas Relays, which is the top high school track and field meet in the Midwest. On Friday, Georgia vaulted to 2nd place at the Missouri State 3A Track and Field Championships. And I just want to mention that she kept a strong tradition of the MAAA in pole vaulting as she placed her name besides the names of Stroud, Barnes, Giesler, Ragland, and many of the other great pole vaulters that have come from the MAAA. You know, I've talked about Georgia as the athlete. I'd like to also talk about Georgia as the person. She is hardworking, competitive, and always strives to get better. She's really a good role model. In fact, there's a young 7th grade pole vaulter that is going to be hopefully a good pole vaulter. And I was talking to her, and Kimmy said, I want to grow up and vault just like Georgia. So she's been a great role model for the younger kids. She's a hard worker. She came in right the week before the conference meet, and I noticed on the Friday before we had a meet at DeSoto, she vaulted well, won, but didn't quite have the drive that she normally did. She came in on Monday and we had practice, and I could tell she wasn't feeling very well. Well, then I find out that she has strep throat. Well, who shows up on Tuesday? It was Georgia. And I said, Georgia, you can't practice today. You got to rest. You got to take care of yourself. So I think she got mad at me. But on Wednesday, guess who shows up for practice again? Georgia. So that just shows you the work that she put in. And, you know, the pole vault is a very mental sport. There's just as much about it mentally as there is physically. And we talk about that all the time. When she was a freshman, she went to the state track meet. On our very first vault, you have to adjust a sign that tells them where to set the standards. On our very first vault ever at the state track meet, and usually you vault in front of 20 people, maybe 25. Well, at the state track meet, it might be 2,000. And the pole vault is right in front of the stands. So pole vaulters are pretty nervous usually. And her very first vault, she was adjusting the sign, and the sign fell apart. So she didn't let it bother and vaulted well. She finished 10th that year, strove to get better, finished 7th the next year, 5th the next year, and then 2nd this year. And this year, during the conference, the district, the sectional, and the state, she had no misses up until the final vault. So that shows you her tough mental approach. Georgia is going to go to Missouri State in Springfield on a track and field scholarship. And I would, again, like to thank her parents for all the support they gave her and for driving her all over the state to participate in track and softball. Georgia Richardson.
The next presenter had 6 girls qualify for state this year, one of which is here today. From DeSoto, Coach Terry Frank.
I don't know if I can follow that. Coach Martin, nice job. First of all, I would like to thank the radio station as well. This is a real honor for these kids. I know they all appreciate being here tonight. I know I appreciate coaching these types of athletes as well. Kendra is the daughter of Waylon and Dee Perrin. She's a senior. She is graduating amongst the top students in her class. She is one of the best athletes that DeSoto has ever seen. She's the first female state champion in track and field history. She is also the second and the third after yesterday. Kendra, as I just said, ended her storied career yesterday by winning the 100-meter and 300-meter hurdles. But I don't think that's the best part of her story. And as I sat down and was trying to write remarks as I was sitting around today, it really hit me just how this season went and where we started. Well, we started way back in volleyball season. This young lady was also a fantastic volleyball player, but she rolled her ankle. Looked to be just a normal ankle sprain, no big deal. I always take the approach, if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. It wasn't. She had fully torn a major ligament in her ankle. She had full reconstructive surgery. So we had to reset our table, reset our expectations, reset everything that both of us had talked and worked for. She'd already made sacrifices and plans to work off season and do everything she could. She wanted to not only repeat as a state champion in the 100-meter hurdles, but she wanted to be state champion in 300-meter hurdles. It was really tough, and I can tell you that this young lady proved time and time again as she went through the pain, as she went through setbacks, fallbacks, tough times, time and time again, just how tough she is. She proved it to me, she proved it to herself, she proved it to her parents, her teammates, and anybody that was paying attention. Kendra has, in my opinion, been the best athlete that DeSoto has had in my time there, and that is saying something, as we've had some outstanding athletes. Kendra's storied career, just some statistics. She's been 10 times all-state performer, including the 4x2 relay 3 times, 100-meter hurdles 3 times, and the 300-meter hurdles 4 times. She is our school record holder in the 100-meter hurdles with the best time of 14.67, and the 300-meter hurdles with the best time of 44.27. But again, I think it's best summed up, this athlete has best summed up what she's done this year to come all the way back from such a hard injury and come back and win it all again, not once, but twice. Kiddo, I wish you the best of luck. Please remember our motto. Be happy with what you've done, but don't be satisfied, and go give them heck at the next level. Kendra Perrin. Thank you.
Next up, he's a 4-time Coach of the Year at this Dream Team ceremony. He's the only girls track coach this year to have 2 Dream Teamers here at the ceremony. And yesterday, the team finished 5th place at the state meet. From Festus High School, John Kreitz.
Come on. Yeah, we'll see. Pleasure to be here and introduce these two ladies. Even though there's some disparity in size, there's a lot of similarities between the two of them. First, we'll start with Sarah Widener. Sarah is second in our school in the history in the shot put with a throw of 46 feet 3 inches, only to the 2012 Olympian Brittany Borman, so she's in some pretty good company there. 46.3 is among the top 5 throws ever in the state of Missouri. Also, her throw of 46.3 this year put her in the top 25 in the United States, so it was a pretty significant throw for her. Sarah started out her high school career primarily as a softball player and made the transition pretty late, even though she did participate. Track was kind of on the back burner until approximately last year sometime. So for her to come as far as she has in a short amount of time, it really speaks volumes. Most kids that compete at that level, especially at the elite level, throw 9 months out of the year. And Sarah never did compete indoor or summer because she was participating in softball. So her best track is definitely ahead, and I'm very excited to see it. She worked primarily with Coach Armbruster in the throws, and we're very proud of their effort. Sarah is an animal in the weight room. I mean, I'm pretty sure that the guys in the weight room are happy that she goes to the YMCA a lot because they would rather her be there than in our weight room because she can outlift a lot of them. And both of these kids are in the weight room a lot, and it's really something to see the effort she puts into it. Sarah Widener. Sarah was also the state champion last year as well as a state medalist this year in the shot put. To my right here is Jamie Kempfer. Jamie, again, like Sarah, is a tenacious worker. I know that track and field doesn't get the attention some of the other sports do around here, and that's okay, but to only have 5 tracksters up here really puts them in elite company, because right now in girls track and field alone, I mean, there's 18 events on the track, 4 of them are relays, 14 individual events. So to take 14 events with the caliber of kids that we have around here and say the 5, you are an elite company. And out of those 5, I would say 2 of them are probably ranked in the top 10 in the country, the whole United States, not just here. I know in a couple of events in the state of Missouri, 9 of the top 12 kids came from this area, from the MAAA or Jefferson County. So it is elite company. Jamie Kempfer kind of rewrote the running book at Festus, one that we thought wrote a long time ago and didn't have many chapters to add, to be honest with you. She broke the school record in the 3,200, previously held by Alyssa Allison, which was also the state record up until not long ago. 10:48 was the mark, and that's held for quite a while, and Jamie broke that mark by 27 seconds. Again, Alyssa was a 3-time state champion and set the bar pretty high. And then she also broke the mile record, which was also the Class 3 state record, at 4:51, and she ran 4:49 and some change. So again, she really made us all rethink about expectations and possibilities, because again, like Sarah, Jamie was kind of a late comer to distance running. She didn't start running distance races till her freshman year, and had battled some injuries early on, and really showed what hard work and dedication and being a student of the game can do. She completely and utterly was dedicated, all parts. And I said at our sports banquet, rarely do you see a kid that has so much talent and you say, man, she's talented, I hope it happens. It happened. I mean, it really did. She finishes her career as not only the school record holder, conference record holder in the mile. She also, to show her unselfishness, gave up the 3,200 at the conference meet that she could have set the 3,200 meter record in to run another race just so we could score more points, because she understands that she's a part of a team, and she always has been that way. She ends her career as a multi-state placer, was on the state championship team, 4x8 as a freshman, and we won the state title last week, and she was the anchor on that as a senior. Again, expectations will always be a little different around Festus High School because of Jamie Kempfer. She led what we feel like is the best group of distance runners to ever come through our school. And we competed against a group from St. Jean, which arguably I would like to be around when I see a group of ladies from these two schools ever come through like this again, because between the two of them, they've set the bar pretty high. Jamie will be missed, but again, like Sarah, they'll be taking their talent to Mizzou to run track and field there. So we're very proud of these two.
Coach Kreitz said it. It's elite company up here today. If you want to make the dream team in any sport, track, soccer, baseball, football, golf, you have to bring it. I mean, we're talking about the best of the best of the best, and you're starting to get the picture. Only 5 girls track athletes get to make it onto the dream team. It's kind of tough for some of the rest that don't make it, but the 5 that are here today, you can bet they deserve to be here, no doubt about that. Our next presenter was the Coach of the Year in his sport, more than any other coach since the dream team started in track. That's a total of 5 times. From St. Genevieve, Brian Jett.
Thank you. I'd like to echo the sentiments of the coaches that came before me. Thank the radio station. This is a great banquet indeed. I want to congratulate all these fine athletes. What an honor. And it's also my honor to introduce Miss Taylor Werner. She's the daughter of Chris and Becky Werner of Bloomsdale. And I'm going to run down a list of her more impressive running accomplishments. Taylor's a 2-time state champion in cross country. She owns the course record. This past fall, she earned first team Nike All-American honors and second team Foot Locker All-American honors. She's never been beaten in cross country in a race in Missouri. She's a 2-time state champion in the 800, the 1600, and the 3200. This past Friday, she set the 1600 meter all-class state record, breaking a 25-year-old record by more than 3 seconds. She ran a blistering time of 4:44.26. Yesterday, she made history again, breaking the all-class 3200 meter record by more than 5 seconds, running a 10:19.15. And for those of you who aren't runners or don't know much about running, the MAAA conference, all-conference standard for boys is 10:20. She ran a 10:19. Taylor's not just a great runner, she's an exceptional student. She currently ranks 4th in her class. She has a GPA of 11.14. She's an officer in the student council. She's a member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. She's a member of the National Art Honor Society. She's a member of the National Honor Society. She belongs to our Spirit Club, and she's involved in our mentor program. She's a young lady of incredible character. She possesses great poise and grace both during competition and when dealing with the media. I look forward to 2 more years with Taylor. Ladies and gentlemen, Taylor Werner.
It's kind of fitting before we moved in that Taylor and Jamie sat right next to each other at the beginning of the Dream Team, because that's where they've been for the past 2 years, neck and neck with each other in all the races and stuff like that. As far as Athlete of the Year in girls track, well, you want to talk about a close vote, and the coaches having a tough decision on this one. This was about as tight as it gets. I won't tell the exact numbers, but it was very, very close. Our girls track Athlete of the Year, as of yesterday, was 2nd place in the 1600, 4th place at the 800, and 1st place in the 4x800 relay from Festus senior Jamie Kempfer. For Coach of the Year, and this happens quite a bit in girls track as well, we have a tie once again this year. So we'll bring them up one at a time. We'll ask that both coaches say a few words in acceptance of the award. For a record 6th time from St. Genevieve, Brian Jett.
Thank you. what an honor. This wouldn't be possible without a great coaching staff. Chris Werner, the head boys coach, John Boyd, my assistant coach. We've got a great staff. Jocelyn Dunlap, she came aboard this year as a volunteer coach to help out with the hurdles. We've got a great throws coach, Chris Thompson, and Al England's helping out with the pole vault. We got a great middle school program, Dustin Keeker, and more importantly, I've got great athletes. They work hard, they're dedicated, they're disciplined, and I want to dedicate this award to them. Thank you.
And for the other Coach of the Year, it's that Festus St. Genevieve rivalry again. For the 5th time in 7 years, John Kreitz from Festus.
Humbled to say the least. I've said it before, track and field around here definitely is a special place. Anytime you're mentioned with Coach Jett, it's definitely an honor. Without the kids, it's not possible, and with our assistant coaches and our athletic director, Coach Allen, our boys coach, Coach Partney, Wes Armbruster, Coach Wright, Ed White, Rich Borman, Alicia Spavali, Mr. Tedford, Coach Thurman, Coach Davis, Coach Kreisel. They do a lot for our program. We have great support from a lot of people. So, again, very humbling, and our kids are awesome at Festus, and it's a great honor. Thank you so much.
Let's hear it one more time for the girls' track dream team. On to boys track, and wouldn't you know it, we have another Festus representative here today. Festus is very well represented. He's the 2012 Coach of the Year, sent 9 athletes to state this year. From Festus, Chris Partney.
I'm lucky enough to be able to talk about 2 of our track athletes today that got nominated and voted on to be on the Dream Team. First of all, we'll talk about Michael Carls. He's not here today. He wasn't feeling very well this past weekend over the state meet, and he qualified for the Festival of Miles, which is a great honor. And he's at home kind of recuperating, and hopefully Thursday he'll feel better and will be able to participate in that. Michael Carls is a fantastic young man. He ran a 4:16 finishing second in the 1600 this past weekend at the state track meet. He ran wrote this down just to make sure I got it right, 9:28 in the 32 as he was the state champion in the 3,200 meters. He was on the 4x8 team that was all-state, finishing 4th. And when you have a young man like that produces those kind of points and is the kind of leader that Michael Carls is, you're in a really good place as far as your team goes. A great young man, bright flight scholar, and the kind of leader that every coach wants to have, and I wish he could have been here tonight, but Michael Carls. And this young man next to me is Nate Cummings. One of the nicest, most polite young men you will ever have the pleasure to be around. His mother, Tammy Self, whatever she has done to raise him, she has done something right, because if my boys turn out to be like Nate, I'll be a lucky guy. I'm really, really happy that we get to have him one more year, being a junior, and the way he works with the other throwers, the boys and the girls, and Coach Armbruster, who's a fantastic addition to our staff, and pushes these kids and really bonds with them, which is important with that group since they're always kind of away from the main group, is fantastic. His goal is to break the school records set by Jason Walker, and one of the kind of testaments to what a great young man Nate is that Jason, having been our school record holder in the shot and the discus, contacts me after just about every meet to see how Nate did. He's Nate's biggest fan, and you wouldn't see that, encouragement to have his own records broken if it wasn't for the kind of status that Nate has in Jason's eyes, because Jason knows that he'd be a great representative of Festus. And that kind of tells you a little bit about Nate. Nate was 2014 All-State in the disc and the shot this past weekend. And again, is one of those student athletes that you're happy to have in your team. And one of the reasons we have the success that we have had at Festus, having young men like this. And I consider myself very lucky. Nate Cummings.
The next presenter coaches boys and girls track at his high school. He had 7 boys and 5 girls qualify for state this year. From Herculaneum, Coach David Cook.
Well, thank you for what you do. I appreciate everything the radio station does. First of all, I'd like to congratulate all the athletes. It's a tremendous honor, and one that you will never forget, to have been selected to the Dream Team. I'd also like to express my thanks to the radio station for all the great coverage they provide throughout the season for any local sports team. We truly are fortunate to have you in our area. It's not like this everywhere you go in the state, for sure, so it's certainly something that we don't take lightly. It is my pleasure to introduce Adam Fisher as a member of the 2014 Track and Field Regional Dream Team. Adam is the son of Mike and Judy Fisher of Peevely. He is a talented individual and he applies himself in all areas of school and sport. He is a 2-sport athlete and was here just a few months ago as he was selected to the basketball Dream Team as well. He graduated this year in the top 4th of his class with a 3.33 GPA and a very competitive group of students who were above him. Every one of us could talk about how hard our athletes work and what great students they are. And those things are all true about Adam. However, what impresses me most about him is that Adam is a young man with tremendous character. Early on this season, we were struggling as a team, and we were trying to find a few kids to help us stabilize the program. And there were some kids that we had dropped that kind of fell off that we thought could help us, but we still felt that we could be competitive with who we had. So I'm going to tell a story about him, and I hope he doesn't get mad at me for doing so. One morning early in the season, I was extremely frustrated, which I think I lived most of the track season that way this year. We were trying to get our kids to understand what was required to be competitive in this sport. Track is simple. You work really hard for extended periods of time, and then you compete for a very short time, and then you repeat that process again and again throughout the season. The work that's required in track and field is demanding, but the reward is well worth it, as you've heard several coaches talk today about kids who've set records and won state titles. That same morning, I found Adam in the high school library, and I pulled him aside. He had not quite bought into what we were trying to say, and he might have had just a touch of senioritis. We discussed those things, and I walked away from that conversation, and I thought, gee, I sure hope I didn't lose him, because we really need him to help us throughout the season. And that evening, we had a track meet at Festus. I walked over to Adam. We talked about the events that he was running that day and when he needed to warm up and what his downtime needed to look like and those sorts of things. And just as I was about to walk away, Adam stopped me and he said this. I'll never forget this statement. He said, "Hey, Coach, about our conversation earlier today, you were right. I've been wrong. My attitude has not been good, and I am sorry. I will improve and I will do better." That night, Adam ran the 400 better than he had ran it the entire season, and he literally improved every single meet from that day forward all the way through the state meet. He finished first in the 400 at our conference meet, he finished first at our district meet, and he took second behind a very talented runner from Cleveland NJROTC at our sectional meet. Adam finished fourth at the state meet in the 400. All season long, he had ran in a few relays. He also ran the individual 100 and 200, and he improved in those events as well. And he just missed the opportunity going to state in the 200, where he finished fifth at our sectional meet. I'm proud to have coached Adam, and the improvements that he made this season are a testament to his character and competitiveness. Congratulations, Adam.
The next coach sent 2 qualifiers to state this year. One of them performed very well, and he's going to tell you about him right now. From Hillsborough High School, Alex Rugley.
Here to present Mr. Mitchell Scott, who is the son of Colby and Jane Scott. Mitchell has been a mainstay on our varsity track team for the past 3 years. His work ethic outside on the track and in the weight room has been amazing this year. He put on some good weight this year. He gained about 20 pounds of good weight from being in the weight room and working very hard throughout the school year during basketball season and the fall. He takes great pride in being technically sound in everything he does, and it's easy to call Mitchell a student of the game. Some accolades that Mitchell got this year and a little bit last year. He was a member of our conference championship track team last year. He was a 2014 conference and district champion in the 110 and 300 hurdles. He was also a sectional champion this year in the long jump in 110 hurdles. He broke our school record in the 110 hurdles this year, running a 14.49 in districts. He also set a school record in long jump, jumping 22 feet 1 inch, which the old record was 21 feet 7 inches. He has been a 3-year track letterman. He is also involved in the a cappella choir, swing choir, men's choir, A+, FCA, and he was a member of our very successful varsity boys basketball team. He plans on attending Lindenwood University next year and majoring in fire science and EMT, correct? Yes, sir. All right, okay. Last thing I would like to do is personally thank Mitchell's parents, his grams, for raising such a fine young man. Mitchell is someone who I can only hope that my own son can emulate as he grows into becoming a young man. And again, it is with great pride and pleasure that I introduce to you Mr. Mitchell Scott.
Tommy just told me a good story about you, Mitchell, that I think I will share with the crowd here today. Is that okay, Tommy? You'll love it. That's good. Tommy was about to do the Dream Team interview with Mitchell Scott, and I guess tried to call him and missed him the first time. But when they finally got a hold of each other, Mitchell said, "Sorry I missed you. I was having breakfast with my grandmother." So he's got his priorities straight, doesn't he? Next up, Chris Warner is the head coach of the St. Genevieve boys track team, but kind of like Central earlier, he would prefer that the coach who worked more closely with Andrew Moore spoke about him today. So speaking for St. Genevieve assistant coach, John Boyd.
First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to thank J98 for recognizing all these great high school athletes. It is truly an honor for all of us to be here. This would not be possible without their support. It is a little surreal actually being on this side of things. Not so long ago, I was actually sitting in the seats that these young high school athletes are sitting in, so it is truly an honor to be here. I am here this evening to present to you Mr. Andrew Moore. Many of his teammates, friends, competitors, and yes, even his parents better know him, though, as Beebs. For those of you interested in the story, I'm sure that he'd be willing to share that with you later after the ceremony. It has truly been an honor to work with such a fine young man. I've had an opportunity to work with Andy over the course of the last 3 seasons. Coincidentally, we both actually joined the St. Genevieve program during the same season. Over the course of the 3 years, I've had an opportunity to watch this young man grow. I truly could go on and on about his running accomplishments, multiple times all-conference, multiple times all-district, district champion, multiple times all-state. However, I think the character that this young man portrays is even more impressive. One key point sticks out in my mind that I would be remiss if I did not share with you. This account took place a few weeks ago at the Class 3 District 1 track meet. As a coaching staff, we sat down with Andrew prior to the meet and decided that we were going to run both the 1,600-meter run and the 3,200-meter run at districts. We knew that going into the meet, both races were going to be hotly contested. At the district meet, it takes a top 4 finish in order to advance to the sectional meet. In both races, Andy just didn't have his greatest races and was out of the top 4, but it was the occurrence of his actions after the 3,200-meter run that truly hits home with the character that this young man exhibits. His freshman teammate had just qualified in the 3,200-meter run and ran very close to Andy's school record in the event. Many individuals, after not qualifying, especially their senior year, and after watching their school record nearly be taken down, would be upset, angry, disappointed. But folks, none of these things describe what Andy Moore did next. He walked straight up to his freshman teammate, gave him a huge hug, told him to take down the record, and was extremely excited for him. Ladies and gentlemen, in my book, that does a great job of displaying one thing: character. At that point in time, the success of his teammate meant more to him than the disappointment that his season was over. All I can say is wow. Andy will be continuing his college running career next year at Maryville University, and I know that the entire coaching staff at St. Genevieve wishes you the best of luck. Who would have thought that a scrawny little 100-pound freshman distance runner would turn into a college track athlete, but more importantly in my book, such a fine young man. Thank you.
Our boys track athlete of the year, well, just competed yesterday, as a matter of fact. First place in the 3200, second place in the 1600. His 4x800 relay team took fourth place. He's a junior, unfortunately not here today, but a big round of applause for Michael Carls from Festus. Our boys track coach of the year is here today, and for the second time in 3 years, he wins this award. Also from Festus, Coach Partney, you might as well just stay up. Chris Partney from Festus.
Thank you for this. I really just want to talk about, just for a moment, our assistants that make everything that these young men and women do possible on top of their incredible athleticism and hard work. Our assistants need kind of a recognition sometimes that they don't get. Coach Armbooster has been throws coach this year and has been a great addition to our staff. Two people up here on the dream team. Coach Wright, an amazing distance coach. A lot of people know, did a phenomenal job with our athletes. Mike Reed had a pole vaulter, all-state yesterday. Alicia Spavali, Mr. Tedford, Coach Kreitz, the head girls coach, who every year I learn more and more from him. Coach Borman, who's always given us advice. Coach White, Mr. Wright, who's always there. Anything we need, these are parents and helpers that are there for us, at any time. And I just want to say, thank you. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be standing up here. Thanks.
We move on now to baseball, and our first presenter is a two-time Coach of the Year. From the Farmington Knights, Coach Craig Gibbs.
It's my pleasure to introduce from Farmington High School, Jonah Barnes. Jonah's the son of Paul and Kelly Barnes and the older brother of Delaney Barnes. We've heard a resounding theme here with all these athletes, what kind of students they are, and Jonah exhibits that as well. He graduated a couple weeks ago from Farmington High School in the top 10%, graduated with several honors. One of the things I thought was impressive about Jonah as I was preparing for this, being a three-sport athlete for the majority of his high school career, the lowest grade he made in 4 years in the class was a 94%. And that's just a testament of his family and what they have instilled in him, the importance of time management and how to keep things in perspective. As an athlete, Jonah was an integral part of our basketball program's Class 4 Final Four appearance this year. His senior year this year in baseball, in 31 games, he had 44 hits, hit .415, scored 32 runs, had 11 RBIs, and had a .456 on-base percentage. He was a unanimous first-team MAAA All-Conference. Next year, Jonah will attend Missouri State University in Springfield on an academic scholarship. Jonah Barnes, Farmington High School.
Just realized I never told her to give one more big round of applause for the boys track dream team, so we better do that. Give them a big round of applause, please. Don't need the track coaches mad at me. All right, so let's move on to Festus coach Jeff Montgomery. Unfortunately, he could not be here today, but he too sent me something to read on his behalf about his dream team athlete, Jeremy Brown. Let's hear it for Jeremy. Festus Legion baseball team started their season today, and he had to be there for that. Jeremy did, so neither Jeremy nor Jeff Montgomery are here today. But this is from Coach Montgomery. Jeremy Brown, Festus High School senior, is the son of Cindy and Dave Brown of Festus. It's the second time that Jeremy has been voted to the Dream Team, and I'd like to thank the coaches for voting him on. Jeremy has been a tremendous athletic ball player and is being rewarded with a scholarship to play college baseball at Arkansas State University. As the Festus shortstop the past 3 years, Jeremy became a solid defensive player and also a good hitter and aggressive base runner. He was one of the best all-around baseball players that I've coached. He loves the game and works to get better 12 months a year. Jeremy drove in 70 runs in his 3 years starting varsity and was first team all-conference in the JCCA the past 2 years. Jeremy is one of the best 5-tool players we've had, and I enjoyed coaching Jeremy, and he will be missed in our program. I'd like to wish him the best with his college career. Jeremy Brown, Festus Tigers. Also unable to attend today was Fox coach Neil Richardson. He wanted to be here. He actually sent, or was going to send his assistant coach, Mike Kratz, down. Unfortunately, Jake Drysdale, their dream team athlete, well, not unfortunately, fortunately, he's being honored today at Busch Stadium as the Delta Dental All-Star team is being announced there at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. So they were there. They were going to try to make it back for this. Unfortunately, couldn't make it down. So let's hear it for Jake Drysdale. And I'll give you some of his stats from the time of voting that Coach Richardson sent me. He plays third base, and he can also pitch. He was batting .478 at the time of voting, 1 home run and 18 RBIs. This was about 3/4 of the way through the season. He was 4-0 on the Hill at that time with a 2.27 ERA. He's a second team member from the All-Suburban West All-Conference team, 4-year varsity football player and starter, 3-year varsity basketball starter as well. He was on the football dream team in the fall. He's in his senior season, so overall a 2-time dream teamer. From Fox High School, Jake Drysdale. Our next presenter, one of the newest members of the Jefferson College Hall of Fame. From Jefferson R7, Coach Ross Koenig.
Again, I'd like to thank Tommy, thanks Glenn for all the coverage that you guys give. Again, it's pretty neat what you guys do for the kids, and they all appreciate it. I'd also like to thank all the other coaches in the room. I know as a young coach myself, I know the amount of time that I put into, and some of you guys who have been through this in a long time, put in a lot of quality hours, and made a big difference on a lot of these young men and women. So I just want to thank you guys too. And also finally to the athletes up here, great job guys. Good luck to you guys in your state tournaments, and good luck to you guys in the future. I'm here to, again, to talk about Brock Boxtiegel. Brock is the son of David and Cheryl Boxtiegel, and it's just been a pleasure to have for my program. It's lucky that I got to start a program with a young man like this, as far as examples, and he can play a little bit too, so that helps. He's just been a fantastic team guy. He's been a great guy to have around. He's played almost every position for us. He's always been a guy I could count on and show up and always have the same mentality. He's going to play hard every day, and I know he's going to teach the young kids. In fact, I don't know, you might be able to correct me if I'm wrong here, but I don't think he ever big leagued a freshman or a sophomore. And so, I think that's pretty neat for a guy like this, especially in the position that we are with some of our young guys, that he looked after him, kind of took him under the wing a little bit and showed him how to play the game. Again, Brock's always been the same old Brock, no matter if it's in the hallways, the class, the baseball field, and I can't tell you how many times he's asked me to play fungo golf every week. So we got it in a couple times, though. He's pretty good. Except he lost his ball the last time and couldn't finish the round, but that's how it goes. I'm going to miss him, though. I really am. I'm really proud of what he accomplished at his time at Jefferson, and I'm also excited and proud of him for for pursuing his career at Hannibal LaGrange next fall. As I mentioned at last year's ceremony, Brock set and holds just about every pitching and hitting category record that we have. And some of those are going to be kind of tough to beat if they'll ever be beat. But overall, Brock finished his career with a 16-5 record on the mound, a .402 batting average, along with numerous other stats. He led us to our first conference title, 2 district championship finals. Over Brock's career, he was a 3-time All-District selection, 2-time All-Conference player, and the JCAA Small School Conference Player of the Year, and a 2-time Dream Team selection. So again, we're gonna miss Brock. He truly was a pleasure to have, a pleasure to be around. His parents, thank you for everything. It was great. The support that I get with our program is fantastic. And again, he's truly going to be missed. And thanks for everything, man. I appreciate it.
The next coach also could not be here today. Coach Don O'Keefe from Perryville is actually on vacation with his family at the Lake of the Ozarks. I will say a few words on his behalf, though, on Dream Teamer from Perryville, Trenton Green. Let's give Trenton a round of applause. Trenton's in his senior season. He was known for his pitching abilities. That's what got him onto the Dream Team. His record final ended up being 7-3 this year, and he pitched close to 50 innings. Also had a save and an ERA under 1 on the pitcher's mound. Pitched in over 10 games this year, had over 40 strikeouts, less than 20 walks, and a whip under 1 as well. Trenton is heading to Missouri S&T. He, too, is looking for an engineering degree there. He will be playing baseball at Missouri S&T. Talked to him in his Dream Team interview. Just a smart kid. The interview went over 9 minutes. We just talked about random stuff, and some of the things we talked about were his favorite moments from his season, and a couple stood out to me. One, he was able to beat Jackson this year on the pitcher's mound. The game went into extra innings. I think he pitched all 8 innings, got the complete game, and they won it in the bottom of the 8th, and that was one that he was happy about for himself. But even more than that was a team accomplishment that his team had been able to do. They were playing a doubleheader against Dexter. I believe it was home. I could be mistaken on that. They won both games, but in game number 2, they were down, had to rally from behind, had a walk-off victory, and got to celebrate on the hill. And you baseball players know what it's like to come out and kind of mob somebody out there on the field when the baseball game has been won. And that's a special feeling that he hopes to have again at his college level. So I thought that was cool and stood out from Trenton Green, Perryville pitcher, Dream Teamer, 2014. Next presenter, Potosi head coach Steve McCoy was unable to attend today, but we do have someone here to speak on his behalf, and it won't be me, so you don't have to hear my voice anymore. Welcome back to the podium, the athletic director at Potosi, Mike Mapes.
I apologize that Dylan's not here today. He has a baseball game this afternoon. He's probably playing right now. Dylan Coleman is a gifted athlete. Not only is he a great baseball player, the kid is the best basketball player around here. He's the reigning Dream Team Player of the Year basketball-wise. He bats number 3 for us on the baseball team, takes the mound every 3 days, pitches his max innings. A great competitor, sometimes too much of a competitor. Other kids don't know how to handle him, but they're coming to the call. And it's my pleasure to talk about Dylan Coleman.
The next presenter is a 4-time baseball coach of the year, including the reigning coach of the year. He was voted that last year. Also, he's still playing baseball. He's got a couple of games tomorrow and Tuesday as they play in the state Final Four. From Valley Catholic, Judd Nagger.
All righty. Thank you. Sorry we were just a little bit late. We were actually out on the practice field. So these 2 guys here are the representatives from Valley High School. On my right here is a junior, Daniel Berthold. He's the son of Jerry and Jerry Berthold of St. Genevieve. He is a 2-year starter for us on the mound and at first base. He has been a staple of our staff for the last 2 years. He's been our ace all year as well. In the past 13 years, I've had some outstanding players, and I think he's going to rank up there very, very high, if not at the top of that list before it's all said and done. Our season is not quite complete. Daniel will actually take the mound tomorrow night in our semifinal game. His stats for this year, as of right now, are outstanding. He's sitting with a 1.8 earned run average. He's only allowed 13 runs in almost 60 innings on the mound. He has 80 Ks and has actually walked less than 20 hitters at this point. The only 2 games he lost this year were to Class 4 Notre Dame and Class 5 CBC. He's had some outstanding wins for us. At the plate, he's hitting almost 400, 10 extra base hits, 1 home run, and he's only struck out 1 time. The best thing about Daniel is that he flat out competes. He is going to raise his level of play to anybody that you're going to see out there. At no point have I ever seen him, overmatched at the plate or on the mound, and he always plays his best in the biggest moments. Outside of the fact of how he competes, I think the best thing about him is that he's a junior. So we'll be excited to have him back again next season. On my right, Daniel Berthal. On my left over here, with the outstanding haircut and the orange shirt, Colton Shilley. He's the son of Claire Shilley and Rick Shilley of St. Genevieve. Colton has made himself into one of the best athletes that we've ever had wear a baseball jersey at Valley. As a freshman, he was little, slow, skinny, really short hair. Now his hair looks great. Would have been really, easy to overlook him. But his work in the weight room the last 3-4 years has been no way you could overlook that. I don't think I've ever been around a kid who's been able to change his body the way he's been able to change his body. This hard work has helped him to produce an average around 460. He has over 40 hits. 16 of those are for extra bases, including 8 times he's ended up at third. Colton has driven in over 30 runs, scored over 30 runs, and stole over 15 bases. He's always smiling. He always has an outstanding attitude. Things have not always been easy for him, but he is the type of kid that you cannot help to root for. Daniel and Colton are both juniors. They have provided our team with an explosiveness on the mound and at the plate. I'm excited to see how these guys are going to play in their last 2 games of this year and all of their senior season. On my left, Colton Shilley. Nice job, guys.
Colton's got a head of hair only Coach Nagger and I could really dream about. I mean, way to go on that thing, man. Don't let him get you down. That is a gorgeous piece of hair you got. Next up, our next coach just completed his 18th year as head coach. He's worked wonders for his program from West County, John Simile.
First, I would like to wish Coach Nager and his boys good luck. I'd like to thank everyone in the room for all the time and hard work they put into athletics. It's my pleasure to introduce Clayton Brinkley. Clayton is the son of Donald and Gayla Brinkley. His clubs and activities include FCA, FCCLA, Student Council, National Honor Society. Clayton also plays basketball at West County. He has a GPA of 11.31 and is first in his class out of 66. Clayton was second-team All-State as a sophomore, first-team All-Conference, and first-team All-District the past 2 seasons. His stats this season include season batting average of .525. He has 32 hits and 61 at-bats. He scored 21 runs and had 28 RBIs, which is quite an accomplishment because anytime Clayton bats with men on base, he usually gets walked. He had 6 doubles, 4 home runs, struck out 5 times compared to 24 walks. He's also very good defensively, plays first base and had 1 error on the season. Clayton's a great leader. He is also a junior, so I look forward to having Clayton back next season. He's also a role model to my son. I appreciate all the time and hard work he puts in with our younger kids. It's just a pleasure to coach. That is Clayton Brinkley.
He was Coach of the Year back in 2006. Also district runners-up this year from Windsor High School, Jeff Young.
Well, this is Ryan's favorite part right here, so I made sure I wanted to stand up here for a good long time. Congratulations to all the Dream Teamers that are up here, and it's my pleasure to introduce Ryan Harris today. Ryan is the son of Rick and Kathy Harris, and older brother of Maddie. Ryan has several qualities that make him a special player besides his bright orange glowing hair. Ryan does the little things that make good players great. He handles failure well, he works hard at the things that will make him better, and he's extremely coachable. One of the hardest things for a good player to figure out is how to handle failure. Baseball is a game of failure, as we all know. The best players hit around 400 in high school. They want to get a hit in every single at-bat. What makes Ryan a great player is not that he doesn't expect to get hit every time at the plate, because he does, but if he doesn't, he has learned to get past that one small moment of failure. He understands to look at the next pitch, the next play, doing a job at the plate, as we sometimes say. He looks at what do I need to do now instead of what the result of my last at-bat was. Baseball is a forward-looking game, and Ryan has learned to treat it as such. Ryan's the hardest working player I've seen in 20 years of coaching high school baseball. At Windsor, we've been blessed with many talented and hard-working players. What set Ryan apart from the others is he works on his entire game, not just the fun and the glamorous baseball skills. Many players spend hours and hours in the cage working on their swing, and so does Ryan, but not many will put the same amount of time in the weight room to get stronger or spend time doing core workouts several times a week during the winter. Many players may get a buddy and play catch whenever they can, and so does Ryan, but not many will make sure that they're long tossing an appropriate amount of time to get their arms stronger as well. As a catcher, we all know it's a dirty, hard job to do at times, much less during the hottest part of the year during the summer. Many high school catchers will work hours on their pop time, blocking balls and framing pitches, and so does Ryan. But how many will run miles and miles during the dead of the winter to keep up his stamina for the upcoming season? Not many unless you work as hard as Ryan Harris does. Ryan is one of the most coachable kids I've been around. In this day and age of baseball becoming more and more select, most kids are getting hitting lessons from this guy or pitching lessons from this guy, and some kids have a tendency to shut themselves off from others' advice. A quote I like comes from Stephen Covey. Most people don't listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. Well, Ryan will listen and try to understand whatever any coach is telling him and attempt to use this to get better as a player. Many players today listen to be polite, or they listen with an intent to reply as to why he or she needs to be doing something this other way. Ryan has a unique ability to play baseball with a certain confidence and be humble at the same time. Some players may mistake humility as weakness, when in reality it's a sign of confidence. It's an ability to handle failure, an ability to do things that no one else wants to do, and this is what Ryan Harris is all about. All of these qualities have allowed Ryan to be a 3-year varsity starter, have a batting average this year of .560 and 84 at-bats with only 1 strikeout. This average placed him 3rd in the entire St. Louis metropolitan area. He also had a slugging percentage of .785, a total of 47 hits with 12 doubles, 3 triples, and a home run in a schedule of 24 games. That's just 1 hit shy of getting 2 hits per game for an entire season. He also was named the Jefferson County Conference Player of the Year. I believe the 47 hits is also a record at Windsor. These are all the things that make up Ryan Harris and has allowed him to become the player he was this year, and will allow him to become the great player he will be as he goes on to Division II Quincy University next year. So I introduce to you Ryan Harris.
Our baseball player of the year. It was his second time on the Dream Team this year. Batted .446 with 7 doubles, 5 triples, 1 home run, and 18 RBIs. He continues a run of Festus dominance at this Dream Team. Jeremy Brown for the Festus Tigers. Unfortunately not here, but we will get his plaque to him. Coach of the year for a record 5th time, Judd Nagger, Valley Catholic. Coach Nagger moves ahead of Potosi's Dennis Lawson and Festus's Don Beesting for most all-time at the Dream Team ceremony.
I don't think my name belongs anywhere near those two guys. Thanks, Glenn, for all you guys do throughout the year. Thank you to my staff. I'm one of the few guys probably who only has to show up to play games. I have a staff who gets the field ready. They do everything for me. They get the kids prepared. I've just been blessed with some outstanding guys on my staff and some outstanding players. And real quick before I get off here, I wanted to wish Coach Gibbs, as he moves out of the coaching profession into something new. It's been fun, buddy. So thank you.
Real quick, shameless plug, Valley Catholic's Final 4 games can be heard on AM 800 KRBI Monday and Tuesday. Let's hear it again for the Baseball Dream Team. And if you thought we were done, you are wrong, because Spring Dream Team, that means we have 2 more awards to hand out. This is where we look back to our other 2 Dream Team ceremonies, and we include this one as well. And we pick a scholar athlete from the entire crop of Dream Team athletes. So you've had to have made the Dream Team this year, the 2013-2014 school year, to be up for this award. We go through, we look at your GPA that was sent to us by the coaches. We look at your extracurricular activities, and we kind of try to dive into more of the student athlete part of it. You still have to be a good athlete as well to get this award, but we focus this specific award more towards the student side of things. We give it to 1 boy and 1 girl each year. Most of the time it's seniors, but not always. The past 2 female winners, the past 2 years, it's been Amy Hill from St. Pius. She won it her senior year and junior year before that. And this year we have another high honor into the fact that our boys recipient is a junior this year. He's on our track and cross-country Dream Team this season, a GPA well over 4.23. He's ranked 1st in his class out of 199. He's the track athlete of the year this year from Festus, Michael Carls. Festus Tigers are cleaning up at this Dream Team ceremony, aren't they? Our female scholar athlete is here today. She is not from the Spring Dream Team, but she's no stranger to the Dream Team. She was here in the fall for volleyball. She'll be playing volleyball at Central Methodist University next year. She plays basketball. She's been on the basketball Dream Team as well. She's in yearbook, FCA, student council, also took college classes while in high school. She just graduated. A GPA over 5. I don't even know how that's possible. She's ranked 1st in her class as well. She's made the Dream Team a total of 4 times, 3 in volleyball, 1 in basketball. She's our reigning volleyball player of the year from Bismarck High School. In our audience today, Darcy Latham. And Darcy, I just want to say it's been a pleasure covering you the past 4 years. Good luck at Central Methodist. And that goes for all of our Dream Teamers this year. With that, it's time to say goodbye to this year's Dream Team ceremony. Special thanks goes out to Danielle Bosler, who runs the theater department here at Mineral Area College, for allowing us to do this ceremony here again this year. Give Danielle Bosler a big round of applause, please. And keep that going loudly for the 2014 J98 Dream Team.